Greetings for the day. Welcome to another session of Cyber Law and Ethics. My name is Muhammad Rahmat Ali. So, in today's session, we're going to continue the part where we left yesterday, the types of web security threats. But before we start our today's session, let me revise what are the things that we have studied in the previous session. In the previous session, we studied about how we spot a web threat, and also we have seen how the web threats are being caused, and later we continued with reference to the types of web security threats. Now in today's session we're going to continue the same part, and we're going to study about the different cyber, or you can say web security threats. The first one is with reference to the malicious code. Now for any of the web threat to occur, one of the reason is the malicious code, which can be included either in the application, or either at the machine, or either at the network, or either at the server to which it is being requested. Now what this malicious code will be? This malicious code will be a code or a small program which will either stop responding to the request, or it will make your system to indulge in other activities, so that the system will be stuck with those all of these activities, or the system will not perform to its actual capacity, or that malicious code will send some of the information from the source system to the host system, or from the host system to the source system, either vice versa. Also these malicious codes will attack the major part, or it will take the control of the main system or the control panel or other systems, by which you cannot be able to access your own system, or else it can be something like a code which will destroy the functioning of the program, or functioning of the application, or the functioning of the system. So this is what you call as a malicious code. This malicious code can enter either through an external device, or by downloading any of the file from the internet, or it can come along with any of the application that you are installing or downloading from any of the unknown resources, and this is very harmful for the system and also for the network. So what it says over here: malicious code includes malware and harmful script, lines of computer programming commands to create or exploit technical vulnerabilities. Where social engineering is the human side of web threat, malicious code is the technical side. These threats can include, but not limited to, injection attacks. Now what do you mean by these injection attacks? Injection attack, like say, if at all if you see the injection, in the whole part of the things, a small code will be injected into that particular code, so that that particular code will not be executing properly. So what it says: insertion of harmful scripts into legitimate application and websites. For example, it includes SQL injections and cross-site scripting. Now what do you mean by this? This means I will be inserting some of the malicious code with reference to the insertion of the code, lines of code into a program, or execution of that particular code. If at all once this particular lines of codes is being executed, this will completely reflect the programming. This will completely reflect the programming, either by like disrupting the functionality of the program, or it will make that program slow in such a way that it will not respond to the request which is being received. The second one is with reference to the botnet, which includes hijacking a user device for remote automated use in a network similar to zombies. These are used to accelerate spam campaigns, malware attacks, and more. Further, with reference to the spyware, which includes tracking program that monitors user actions on a computer device. The most common examples are keyloggers, and with reference to the recent times, the Pegasus spyware that is been installed. Now see, with reference to the keyloggers, what it says is like what are the things that you are typing with reference to a keyboard will be recorded. Also with reference to the different application that is being used for spyware, it can either monitor your screen, or it can either monitor your key logs, or it can monitor both audio and video of the machine. So that's only the reason. See, it is a common practice. If at all if you are having any of the laptop and it has a webcam on it, most of the people will be putting a plaster on that so that it cannot see anything on the user's end. And many of the you can technical person or techies, you can say, they will put a plaster or they will cover that particular camera. Why? Because they know the severity of that particular thing. That particular camera is might be under the monitoration, or it can be under threat, or it can be under any of the attacker's hand, which will be monitoring your videos, or it can record that particular video, not only with reference to the camera, also with reference to the mic that you are having. With reference to the recent Pegasus virus, if at all if you have studied with reference to that, it will monitor all of your things like including camera, audio, video, keyloggers, everything will be monitored in that particular thing, and it will completely be a spy in your hand. What are the things that you are saying, what are the things that you are writing, or what are the things that you are seeing on your device, everything will be monitored. So this is with the reference to the spyware. The next one is with reference to the computer worms, which are the script that runs, replicate and spread autonomously without the help of a related program. This particular worms will duplicate themselves or replicate themselves so that either the system memory is being occupied, or the running memory or execution memory is being occupied, so that no other new operations cannot be performed. This is only the reason either the system will not be responding properly, or the device might be getting heated up, or the device might get switched off frequently. Any of the things can be one of the reasons with reference to the computer bombs. Now the next one is with reference to the exploits that happens. Now from the first day of the class, I am speaking with reference to exploit. What exploit is all about? Exploits are intentional abuses of vulnerabilities that may lead to an undesirable incident. Now what do you mean by this particular thing? See, this can be set in this particular format, that you are writing an examination and somebody comes and pulls you out of the examination, says that you are not eligible of writing this particular examination due to the reason that you are carrying a paper, extra paper in that. That is what we call as an exploit. Exploit in the sense, though that paper is a legal paper which you are carrying and nothing is written on that, but it is an intentional act. It is an intentional act that is been performed to make you feel undesirable. So this is what we call as an exploit. Now the same thing can happen with your system also. An exploit can be anything with reference to either with reference to the breaching of a thing, or inserting any of the viruses, or inserting any of the worms into the system, or it can be with reference to breaching of the system security, or it can be with reference to accessing unauthorized files on your system. It can be anything. So this is with reference to the exploit. It says further, it says brute force attacks. Now what do you mean by this brute force attack? It says manual or automated attempt to breach security gates and vulnerabilities. This may typically involve generating all possible passwords to a private account. Now see, most of the time brute force attack is being used. For us to understand, we think that password is alphanumeric characters, which has small letters, capital letters, special characters and numbers. For us it is like that, but for the machine it is the combination of zeros and ones. For the machine it is the combination of zeros and ones. The only thing that I need to know is which zero should be where and which one should be where. If at all if I'm able to put that particular zeros and ones in the desired places, then I can enter into your account. I can enter into your account, or anybody can enter into your account. Just for an idea, I'll tell you, if at all if you use your Facebook, and if at all somebody wants to breach your Facebook account, it is the most easiest way to what we call as breach an account. Why? Because see, if at all if you forget your password, if at all if you type the forget your password, then it will ask you some of the questions. The questions can be, the first question can be, what is your first name, or which is your first pet, or what is your what was the last name of your friend, or what is the who is your favorite hero, who is your favorite film, or what is your favorite film, or what is the last movie that you have watched. Now the person who lives along with you, or you can say your best friend, or the person who hangs out with you, or the person who is in your friend circle, can easily breach these particular questions. This is what we call as like an example of brute force attack. Why? Because it knows all of the possible combinations of your password. Like see, if at all if you click on that particular thing, or but you answer the particular questions, he knows all the possible answers of that particular question. If at all he is able to answer those particular questions, then he has got the access of your account, and he can change the password, or he can what you call, read all of the information in your what you call as your account. So this is what we call as brute force attacking, since it has all of the possible conditions, or all of the possible ways to generate the password, or generate or breach that particular account. That is what we call as a brute force attack. Then the next one is with reference to the spoofing. Now what do you mean by spoofing? Spoofing is a mechanism of recreating an original content in its own way. In its own way. That is what we call as spoofing. So what it says, masking a real identity to manipulate legitimate computer system. Example includes IP spoofing, DNS spoofing, and cache poisoning, or we can say cache poisoning. And what do you mean by this? This means an accurate or legitimate or real identity is being manipulated. How it is manipulated? It is manipulated in such a way that it looks like an original system, but it is not an original system. Now don't get confused between phishing and spoofing. Spoofing is a totally different thing, and phishing is a totally different thing. Phishing is recreating the things, but the address and also the things will be different. Whereas in spoofing, every other thing will be similar. This will be with reference to the addresses that we are using, or the DNS that we are using, or the memory allocation that is to be duplicated, that will be spoofed, so that that particular things will be embedded into the code, or it will get executed, so that that particular system will get exploited. Okay, that is what we call as the spoofing. Or it is like, it is like a trap. It is like a trap. If at all, once you fall into that trap, the rest of the way which you will travel, travel along with that trap, or along with that tracker. So that is what we call as spoofing. Now the next one is with reference to how to protect yourself against the web threat. Now, what are the mechanisms, or what are the things by which you will be able to protect yourself from a web threat? The first one is with reference to most threats are successful due to two main weaknesses. The first one is with reference to human error. The second one is with reference to the technical error. Now, what do you mean by this human error and technical error? Just to make you understand what this particular thing is, let me take an example of a bank application. Let me take an example of a bank application in which the basic things are withdrawal and deposit. If at all if you deposit the money should increase in your bank. If at all if you withdraw the money from your account, the money should get reduced from your bank account. Okay, but when you are depositing some money in the bank account, the money is being getting cutting down. The money is getting cut off from your bank account. when you are taking off the money from the bank account, the money is getting added. The more amount you are withdrawing, the more amount is being added into the bank account. So what can be the problem? The problem is with reference to the plus and minus. The problem is with reference to the plus and minus. So this is what we call as the human error. Though the logic is correct, though the script is correct, everything is been correct, but there is a small minute error. Instead of plus, it is been written minus. Instead of minus, it is been written as plus. So this is what we call as human error. But what is with reference to a technical error? With reference to the technical error, it can be anything. After you put down the pin, the system got shut down. It cannot regenerate everything. So that this is one of the technical reasons. If once you have inserted the card is not coming off. That is another technical reason. If at all after you have received the money is not been deducted from your account. That is one of the technical reason. Now with reference to the web threads, the web threads can occur with reference to human error in the sense of inserting any of the unknown devices to your network or to your local system. That an unknown device can be with reference to any of the memory device, or it can be with reference to any of the external network that you are connected to. It can be anything. It can be anything. With reference to the technical errors, the firewall or the antivirus that you are using is not working properly. So this can be one of the reasons by which the web threat occurs, and these are the two reasons by which we can be protective with reference to the web threats. How you can be protective? You can be protective with reference to increasing the human interaction with the system and seeing what are the errors that can happen and prerequisitely doing all of the things with reference to things. So this is with reference to human error and technical error. The last point is with reference to full protection from web threat means you will need to find way to cover these weakness points. So this is with reference to how to protect yourself against the web threats. We'll stop it over here. I hope you understood something from today's session. If you have any doubt with reference to today's session, please ping me at rahmat_ali2@radio.com, or we can have a doubt clarification session soon or later. Thank you for listening. See you in the next session.